Here. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, I hope you're having a really great day. First and foremost, obviously this is a departure from my typical method of shooting videos. The format is completely changed. For one thing, my face is on the camera. For another thing, this is not a Hot Toys 6-scale figure, nor a Sideshow statue, nor a various sort of Star Ace Toys submission or QMX collectible that I would normally be featuring on my channel. This instead is full-on toy mode. This is why this is important to me. I have a memory of childhood in which I really wanted the original Kenner version of the Snowspeeder. And it is the one toy, in addition to Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, that I was never able to pick up that I really wanted. Flash forward 40 years, and I have it as of today, thanks to Hasbro and the Hasbro Black Series. So, I have been so looking forward to this, and I thought, why not go ahead and share it with anybody who might actually decide that they wanted to see the pure joy on my face as I open this, one of my most coveted collectibles, toys, let's call it what it is, in a long time. So, popping open this, first of all, let me just show off the box. I know that I just already ripped into this, and this is totally freeform, so forgive me for it, but pretty great art here. You can see that the Snowspeeder also comes with Dak. Right now I feel like I could take on the whole empire myself, Ralter. And there's a little picture of Dak right over there. Let's see where he's situated. Photos of the airspeeder make it look like it's been weathered nicely. I haven't seen any actual in-hand footage of this, so I don't know. You can still see in the photo that there is some texture to the battle damage going on here and the carbon scoring and whatnot. So it looks like they did more than just a two-dimensional effect. Did that translate to the actual product? Let's find out. Ripping it open. I also have around here somewhere, and I'll have to dig it up, the Snowspeeder Luke 1/12 collectible figure from Hasbro. Wow, this box is really tight. It's in there quite snug. Hate looking like I'm struggling on camera, but I'll get over it. Oh, hello. Very impressive. Don't need that anymore. Sorry, Dubby. Wow, okay. This is how it comes in the box. You can see they really went all out insofar as minimizing the volume of the packaging while maximizing the protection of the speeder within. Some assembly is clearly required, as you can see that the barrels for the blasters are tied onto the side here, and some engine components possibly, maybe, I'm not sure what that's going to wind up being. Poor Dak has been crucified up here on the side of the box, so we'll have to get him out as well. I can already tell that some of these parts here are movable. I'm not going to do a whole lot with that until I get it out and take a look at the directions. Yes, I know, I said take a look at the directions. Not something I would typically do, but I'm going to with this guy here because he's, well, royalty for my collection, actually. I have plans within plans. Okay, I'm seeing here in this plastic bag, this first plastic bag that we're getting, it appears that we're getting Dak's helmet, as well as some sort of engine or gun component. I reckon that we'll see more of that when we get it taken out. Okay, wow, there's a lot in here. A lot more than I originally thought. You've got the tail gun, as well as the harpoon, the tow cable, which is in here with Dak's helmet. And I'm just gonna take special care with this stuff. I'm just gonna cut it. Sometimes, just like any kid, I get a little excited and decide to go ahead and just rip. But I'm not gonna do that with this guy. I don't really relish, I've been waiting long enough for this. I don't wanna ruin it right out of the gate. Oop, dropped a piece. Not even sure what this is, but we'll get to it. Tiny guys are going over here. I don't wanna run the risk of knocking them off again. We have, again, yeah, just as I said, we have Dak's helmet. And we have the magnetic gun that Luke takes out of the Snowspeeder. I think what these are, what these are, I think these are the mines, these little guys. I think this is what Luke throws in to the belly of the AT-AT after he escapes from his crashed Snowspeeder on Hoth during the Battle of Hoth. All right, I can see already that this is going to be the piece that goes right here. I'm sure there's a reason for that, and I'm sure we'll get to it soon. Maybe they just wanted to ship it with the engine components revealed, just to show it off in the box. That doesn't make much sense because the box itself prevented you from seeing any of that. All right, let's take Dak out of here. I don't know that we ever had a really clear shot of Dak's face. I think we only ever saw it in profile. I wonder if the sculptors had access to some sort of materials that they could use to, yeah. Great joints on these great joints on these Hasbro Black Series figures these days. Very stiff, not so stiff that they're going to pose. See what I did there? Some sort of a problem. I'm just kind of curious. It looks like I'm just supposed to put this over his head. Oh, that's really flexible. That's extremely flexible. All right, you know what? I'm not going to run the risk of chuffing this up at all, even though I can't see myself ever displaying Dak without his helmet on. It's nice to have the option and not be afraid of some sort of damage that I created myself. All right, just checking this out here. All right, I'm just going to carefully cut this away. Yeah, cut that piece out. I'm just checking to see if it's tied in there, and it doesn't appear to be. There's no indication of any sort of tie-off going on there. Tie-off, like a TIE fighter. Get it? Okay. Let's just pull this out. And I think that I got it free. I wish I got it free. Price point on this is pretty steep. Wow. I've said this before, and I want to say that it was in the video that I made, brief video that I made of the Black Series TIE Fighter, First Order TIE Fighter, that having this in my hand evokes memories of having the scale half scale down from this, the original Kenner toy in my hand when I was much smaller, when my hand was about half this size. Feels very familiar. That's I don't know if that was something that that Kenner had in, or not Kenner, but Hasbro had in mind when they were creating this line. The nostalgia of holding a figure in your hand and having it be about the same scale that it was in your hand when you were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. If not, it was a really happy accident. Speaking of accidents, I forgot to take the barrels out of this, so let me go ahead and do that really quick. First observation is that the weathering, as expected, does not look as nice as it does on the box. That's okay. If I want to weather it up more, I can. I have some skills, not a lot, a couple skills. Wow. I'm going to do a round of photography on this and just start posting some photos. But you can see here, the Death Star, you can see here that there is clearly some semi-opaque coverings over the plastic, the plexiglass, whatever that they've used to create the windows in this airspeeder. I'm assuming that I'll be able to take them off when I get into the cockpit, which I still don't know how to do. My God, look at this. Down below here, there are doors that swing open, allowing for the landing gear to pop down. we go. One. Looks like this landing gear is attached to the outermost door on the back landing gear. So you want to open the innermost flap first, and then you've got it all down. Bob's your uncle. Let's set that guy down. Look at that. All right. Let me find the instructions. I have haphazardly thrown the instructions someplace else, and now I don't know where they've got to. All right, so again, you have the option here to display your Snowspeeder with this whole area here blown off. Here's the real question, though. Are these things identical, or is one left and one right? They are, in fact, asymmetrical. And you can tell, when you look at these parts, they are identical, but you can see that these keys are offset. But I'm seeing no indication molded into the piece to indicate which is left and which is right. Ah, yeah, there too. Yeah, they're not symmetrical even in the front. If you look at this being down, then this is canted to one side and the other is canted to the other side. So I can do this one of two ways. I can just wing it and hope for the best, or I can use my freaking brain. That angle indicates to me that that's the way that I want to go. It's in as good as it's going to get. You can still see the pegs a little bit, and that's fine. I suppose that's just how it was intended. We'll do the same over here on the other side. Oh, this is really shaping up nicely. I also have a Bandai model kit for this craft that I eventually want to get around to assembling, painting, weathering, all that good stuff. We'll see how it turns out. Again, I'm not as skilled as my former fellow Sideshow employees were at that sort of thing. They've had their entire lives to develop those skills. I never considered that I might have a talent in it, so I just never tried. Let's see. That's going to slide over that. That needs to go into that. And that's going to be a lock. Right there. Done. Wow. Whap, 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 whap. That's the sound that it makes. Whap, whap, whap. So if you were going to actually do a comic book where you needed to have the sound effects as words, whap, 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 I think is probably where it's at. Not zap. You'd be tempted to do zap, but you'd be wrong. Nice little indent here for you to slide your fingernail or whatever to pry this open. Reluctant to open, to the point that I'm wondering if I've forgotten something. Or if I've neglected something. Just bent my thumbnail back. Nobody likes that. That's why it's one of the favorite forms of torture in certain parts of the world. Wow. There we go. Yeah, it just, oh my God. Man, when you get this thing open, the details really just pop. There is, way down there, Dak's gunner position looks magnificent. Obviously, it could be better. I mean, when you get down to the seats and the floorboards, you're not seeing any detail at all, really. But, man, I'll get some photographs of that just to show it off. I'm trying to figure out, oh, yes. The seat belts just come up like that. You slide in your figure, and then the straps go over the shoulders. So once I've sorted how to get Dak in there, wow, this is great. Little things there to just pop it loose. Isn't that awesome? And I've heard rumor, let's see. Yeah, they sent two of these because there are two spaces for them right here. But these little guys slide right down into their homes. These little mines that, these grenades that Luke had. And by the way, I'm just not entirely sure that that's a great design. When you're flying a ship and you have 3 mines, grenades, explosive devices of some sort on either side of you, and just on the off chance that you take a stray round that would otherwise not really critically injure your Snowspeeder, hits one of those things, somebody didn't think that through. All right. Joe Johnston, was that one of yours? I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. There's got to also be a place for this gun to go. Looking for it, but I'm not seeing it right now. That's something I'll just have to track down by instructions or whatnot later on. You had to reach into the back to get it. Oh, yep, there we go. There is, to Dak's left, to the left of Dak's position, a sort of little sheath on the floor. You can see right there how it just pops up, and it's there. Wow. This thing's really cool, everybody. I don't know if you had any thoughts of designs on getting it or on the fence or whatever, but they've really hit it out of the park with this guy. Obviously, the tail gun just goes right there. That is just a feeble little thing, isn't it? Still, I guess on most conditions it might be effective. Coming up against enemy airspeeders and what have you. I am once again going to just try out this DAC thing. See if I can't get his head in there without breaking it. God, it's really tight. Down it goes, over his face. All right. The plastic is just flexible enough that it moves enough to accommodate the head. Find a good place for the chin strap, and he's in. Let's pop these things out. Last thing that I'll do, and then I'll get to a round of photography in. Let's see how this looks. This is going to be a challenge because there's not a lot of room to maneuver back there. I wish there was a way that I could, let's see. Is it going to have to be flat? Okay, everyone, at last it is complete. I had to step off camera there. My timer ran out. I can only shoot this thing in 20-minute increments. So I opted to just go ahead and finish it while the camera was not rolling. You wouldn't have been able to see what I was doing anyway. I've shot some B-roll footage with my iPhone that I'm going to be showing up on the screen too, just to show you what all that I've done here. But everything is exactly where I want it to be now. I have the... God, that's tight. That is mercifully tight. I'm really grateful for that. But everybody's in there where they're supposed to be. I was even able to get Luke's lightsaber onto the belt after putting the figure into the cockpit. That was much easier than I thought that it would be. The grappling gun is where it's supposed to be. Dak's hands are on his on the sticks and ready to go. Luke's hands similarly on his sticks. I had no idea that they're way down low, like by his knees. That makes sense. That's exactly how you would expect it to be in a cockpit. I don't know why I didn't think that it should be that way, but it is. Really cool details to notice. One is obviously this little guy right here for Dak to pull down on and below the canopy if they need to. But also there is some writing here in Arabic. I took the time to translate it. Right here it says laser access panel, and over back here it says laser target control. So that's kind of a cool thing. There's quite a bit going on up here, but I was only able to translate the first 3 words, and they are do not step. My eyes aren't what they used to be. I took a photograph of it with my iPhone, but it still wasn't terribly sharp, so I couldn't figure out what else it said. It's hell getting old, guys. I suppose I probably should have tried doing it over here on this side, and maybe I will later, and if so, I'll make a note down in the comments below. But this is glorious. Really, really glorious. The only thing that could make this better is if there had been electronics, as there were. As I recall, the Kenner toy had some sound effects that you could play by hitting a button. The downside to doing that, to adding that, would have been they would have needed to figure out where to put the button. Now, a few things that I didn't point out in the first segment of the video. This looks like it comes off. And I haven't done anything with it yet, but let's just go ahead and pull that out. Yeah. So that's kind of cool because what that is your air brakes. And you can see them using these air brakes and flaps as they're flying in the Battle of Endor, the Battle of Hoth. So that's a neat effect. That's a neat little addition that they didn't have to add, and I'm really grateful that they did. Another thing you might notice is that there is a tow cable back here at the back of the craft. It dangles out a little bit. I'm not sure if that's screen accurate or not, but if it bugs you, you can come around back here, and there is another plate that flips up, and that's where the rest of the tow cable is. So if you wanted to simulate, there's quite a bit of length here. It looks like there might be, I don't know, 8, 10 inches, maybe more. Maybe I'll measure it, maybe I won't. But just pull it out here. Oh God, yeah, way more than 8, 10. Yeah, that's close to, well, there's a knot in it, but that looks like about 18 inches of cable. So if you wanted to do something neat with that and maybe have it act looking like it's just shot its tow cable at an AT-AT walker somehow, more power to you. I'm not sure how you would do that. Maybe if you had the skills, you could construct a 12th scale AT-AT leg for it to shoot at, because you can bet that Hasbro is not going to make one. Now, if one shows up as a HasLab option, then great, but I don't expect that that's going to happen. Now, these things are somewhat flexible. Best not mess with it. And that's about it, everyone. What a really, really cool toy. 5-star collectible for me. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I almost canceled it for financial reasons, just because, you know, 120 bucks, not something I want to tell my wife that I spent on anything. But especially not on a toy. Do you think she knows? Anyway, love it. Get you one if you have the means and you have the space. This is going to take up a lot of space. Oh, on that note, I should probably bring up what I plan to do with it. There is a space up there, just out of your view, in my corner that has nothing on it. There is a TV mount, a 32-inch, or I think it's like 19 to 32-inch size TV mount that I can pick up at Best Buy for like 90 bucks, I think, something like that. And I'm going to see if there's some way that I can modify this in such a way that I can affix that, like close up these landing gear and find some way to affix that stand onto the airspeeder. Who knows? I may be able to pull it off, I may not. Certainly I'm not going to be able to pull it off without permanently modifying the craft, but I'm okay with that. If in the end I have a means of displaying it like this, or even if it's like this, let's assume this being a flat wall, just like this, and slightly, like this would be flat to the wall, and this would be, say, 18 degrees of cant, which is what it advertises that stand will be able to do. That's pretty effective. That looks like a Snowspeeder and a hard bank, and I'm assuming also that I'll be able to get this sort of play out of it as well. So I can have it maybe basically flying out of the wall, like in a hard bank, and I kind of dig the idea of that. Oops, don't think, yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to look. Crashed Snowspeeder. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. I know that it wound up being a much lengthier video than I'd originally intended, and I apologize for that, but hopefully you were able to get some good insights as to how awesome this craft is. Tune in next time. I have something really special on the way from Sideshow. It's a bit outside of my regular realm of collectibles, much as this is, but in the opposite direction. And I'm looking forward to reviewing it for you all. I hope you have a great day, and as always, be good to your plastic. Good God, I nearly forgot to show you guys the photos. And here they are. Shot with my iPhone using just very basic studio lighting. I just wanted to not give anybody the opportunity to accuse me of glossing over any imperfections. So this is about as bare bones as it gets, and just to show you just how good of a job Hasbro did on the deco for this craft. It's a fine looking ship, great looking toy. Again, I think I could probably put it up next to my EFX Collectibles Studio Scale X-Wing, and from a distance, no one would really be able to see that much of a quality difference. They really knocked it out of the park with this. I think I've probably gushed about it enough. You know how I feel about it. It's an astonishing figure. You can't tell that I do figures a lot. It's a great looking vehicle. Get it if you can. That's about it. Until next time, be good to your plastic.